Good morning. Good morning. As you get here, make sure you say hello. Let me know that you're here as I go. And I hit all these little places to go live as well. And let's make sure I'm live there. Yes, I am. And going live here. Beautiful. All right. So, like I said, as you get here, make sure that you say hello. Let me know that you're here, and I'm going to pull this up on my phone as well, so I can see what's going on a little bit better. Let's see. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Oh, it's a beautiful day. There we go. Let me set this up right there. I don't know about you guys, but yesterday was a gorgeous day, and today looks like it's going to be even more beautiful. And the interesting thing is because it's going to be really warm, but I'm okay with that, right? It's summertime, or not officially summertime, but it's summertime. Good morning, Sean. Good morning, Krista. Make sure that you say hello so that you can participate in the actual conversation. Happy Sunday. Yes. Beautiful. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. So I know Sean is in Atlanta. So anybody else, as everybody else, as you're popping in, just make sure you let me know where you're coming in from. Um, Coffee made, coffee mode. Oh, got my coffee right here. And actually, interestingly enough, usually I've had a couple of cups before I get here. Um, but for some reason today, this is my first cup. But I did do my workout earlier. And so that kind of put me a little bit later. And then I have to be honest, um, I almost lost when I knew I was going to live at 10, and almost all of a sudden I thought, wait a minute, I was making my list of things to do today. One of them is and this may be TMI for you guys. I have no idea, but I make my own toothpaste because I just don't like all the stuff that's in the store brands, even the more natural brands. They have stuff in there that is like, I can do it this way. So over the past year, I've tried out a bunch of different recipes, and so this one recipe I really like, and it has bentonite clay. Is that it? I don't remember, but I have a big container of it, so I'll be able to make it for a while. But one of the things that I like a bit about it, as opposed to other toothpaste, and I know I'm talking about toothpaste, and that has nothing to do with our day. However, is that it helps to pull out the metal toxicity in your body. So as you're brushing your teeth, you're actually helping that a little bit. And interesting thing about me, and some of the people that may be a little bit older might still have mercury fillings in their mouth, and I do. And I've been over time, I've been getting them replaced with regular today's fillings, but I still have, I think, two left. And so I figure if it's helping to keep some of that toxic stuff from constantly being put through my system, then it's good, right? All right, so I'm going to, oh, wait a minute, I haven't copied and pasted the affirmation and journal prompt. I got so busy with my list, I left it to the side. So let's get here. So I'm going to ask before we even get into this one. So for those of you that are here, do you believe in miracles? And I think I know the answer to that question, but go ahead and put it in anyway. Put a yes if you believe in miracles, or you can put miracles if you want to do that. And there's always a delay from what I'm doing here and what's showing up there. So if I'm asking you something and you've already answered, then that's the reason. That's the reason. So I'm just checking here. Yes, yes. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pop in this affirmation. So give me a second. It's not that it's bad, but it was so much simpler when we could just go straight in and not have to do all these stream keys, because now I have to make sure I'm sharing it over here and over here and over here. It's just added a few little things. All right. So, our affirmation for today is I believe in miracles, and I should say I am, but anyway, I believe in miracles and am ready to be dazzled by today's magic. And today is Sunday. It's a magical day to begin with. But now we're really going to focus on it. We're going to focus on the fact that miracles are all around us. And we talk about this a lot. And not only are miracles all around us, it's that if things are not exactly the way we want them to be, it's because we're not paying attention to the miracles around us and bringing them in. You know, I've talked many times about how our magnetic powers are, and the fact that we are energetic beings. Everything's energy, right? And so we're emitting a frequency, a magnetic charge all the time. And then once we start doing this on purpose, being mindful of what we're bringing in, then man, oh man, can we make a difference. And so one of the things that I say every time before I get on here with you guys is I do a little short prayer. God, give me the wisdom to have the right words at the right time for the people who need it, right? And so sometimes I know maybe the things I talk about doesn't resonate with everybody, and that's okay. But the people that it does resonate with really need it in the moment. So I don't know who here today or that might be watching the replay. And as a matter of fact, I'm glad you're here too. And put hashtag replay and let me know that you were here, and answer the questions, participate full out, just as if you were here live. And so when we're thinking about miracles and the magic of miracles, it's like, can you go back into a place in your life that just off the top of your head, a day that you felt like, oh, this is a magical day. Oh my God, look at the miracle that just showed up in my life. So, can you look back at some place where you saw those kinds of things happening in your life? And it could be yesterday, it could have been this morning, could have been 5 years ago. It doesn't matter. And the thing is, when we're talking about this, that when we start bringing forth the thoughts of a miracle or some magic that's happened in our lives in the past, it reignites a part of our brain, our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, that enables us to start being more mindful of the miracles and things that are happening all the time. Because when you really get down to it, you woke up this morning, you opened your eyes. That's a miracle in itself, right? A lot of people did not do that. There are people all over the world this morning that are mourning for someone who did not open their eyes and wake up today. And so count that as a miracle in itself, right? And magical miracle, right? Good morning, Erlyn. It's good to see you here. And the thing that's interesting to me is, I talk about this a lot, but to be really grateful for the different things that we take for granted. And so I'll refer a lot of times to my niece who has muscular dystrophy, and those that were in the masterclass. She was in the last masterclass that we did, and she has muscular dystrophy, and she is such an amazing person. She's so spiritual, she's so inspirational, she does art, she does all these things. But God bless her, she cannot, if she's laying in the bed and she needs to move her leg in a different position, somebody else has to do it for her. If she wants to roll over in the bed, somebody else has to help her do it, right? And to get up and go to the bathroom, how many people today on this call right now can get up and walk to wherever it is they need to go to the bathroom, right? have some gratitude for it. She cannot do that. She has to have someone help her. She has to get in, they have to help her get out of the bed, get in her wheelchair. Take her, she goes to the bathroom, they have to help her get off the wheelchair and onto the toilet. And, and so that's her day-to-day life. And oh my gosh, that I have been with her at times that it's like, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, the amount of things that she has to depend on other people to do. Now she can feed herself, she can paint, she can do all that stuff. She watches TV. She's all the time learning new things. I mean, she's amazing. So it's not like she's a vegetable by any means, but the things that she can't do, we do like that, and we don't think a thing about it, right? And so that is a miracle in itself, that we are able to get up and move our bodies and do things. Like I said before I got on here, I did my workout. She can't do that. And I had a little problem with my hip the other day, and as I would walk up and down the steps, it'd be a little bit painful. I'd get in the bed, it'd be a little bit painful. Big deal, right? She deals with some excruciating pain in her muscles all the time because they're constantly dying. And I'm not trying to make you depressed by any means, but I'm trying to show you that there are so many things in life that we take for granted. And it would be amazing if we could just take some time today on Sunday to thank God for where we are in our life and how our body works, even if it's not perfect. The fact that it works, the fact that we're alive, the fact that we can breathe, that we can smell, we can taste. A lot of us can hear, a lot of us can see, and there's some people that can't do that. And so if you can, don't take that for granted, right? It's a day to really, really think about all the amazing miracles that happen every day. We open our eyes and there's miracles all around us. It's just taking the time to actually appreciate them, right? And so when I say I believe in miracles, I believe in miracles that may not be this big poof miracle, right? It could be an everyday, every moment miracle. So does that make sense to you guys? Are you following along? Are you actually seeing the miracles of today that you've already had? Just put yes in the comments if you get it, because I think it is important for us. And I don't know how spiritual you guys are. So you may be a person that believes in God. Maybe your phrase is the universe, or I don't know. The thing is that it's kind of like, God gives us the ability to do so many things. And a lot of times when things are easy, we just think, okay, this is easy. But when they get hard, it's like, oh, God, help me, right? So maybe in those times that it's easy, we should be, oh, God, thank you, thank you, thank you, right? I mean, we're on a Sunday morning here together, connecting, and to me, it's amazing space to just share a little bit of this, right? Thank you, Sean. Great observations. Thank you. And I can see the miracles and the beauty all over the place. Not to say, and I always make sure I say I am not perfect by any means. Sometimes I drop into the pity party, just like everybody. When my hip started hurting, I thought, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be amazing if this didn't hurt? Wouldn't it be amazing, right? But it still hurt. And I had a hard time sleeping because I couldn't hardly move. Such a beautiful spirit you are. Oh, thank you, Sean. And so it's like putting things in perspective. I can do exercises and different things to help my hip, right? Because I'm not one of those people that as soon as something starts hurting, I go to the doctor and then they want to do, uh, I sound like a Neville Goddard student. Well, I do read Neville Goddard a lot. So, um, and as a matter of fact, I've got an anthology of a bunch of his books sitting over by my bed. So yes, I do love Neville Goddard. Um, the thing is that when my hip started hurting, my first inclination is not to go to the doctor. It's to see what's going on in my life right now that maybe I feel a little off balance, right? And so I feel like when something's going on in our bodies, that it is a manifestation of something that's been going on in our minds and our thoughts and everything, right? And so I started looking at that first. And I could see that there were a few little places that I was a little bit off balance. I was too much in this thing and not enough in the other. And so that my job then was to start balancing that out. Good morning, Wendy. Yay. So you got in some church this morning. So you're coming into church now. We're talking about miracles and magic and blessings, right? Um, but as I was going and I was I was working on, not trying, I was working on getting some more balance in some of the things that I had going on. That wasn't enough. I know that. So I also had to work on not the mind thing, but just and the physical thing. So I started researching and finding some different people who worked well with hips, just from different movements and exercises that would help with the stability of the hip, right? It's probably because it is a private group, Sean. To be honest with you, I can send you a little clip or something later if you want, and that you can share out if that's something that you want to do. So yeah, just let me know. Um, the thing that's really interesting is once I started doing the balancing out the things that I was doing in my life, and I started doing these exercises, right? It's like I would wake up in the morning and it kind of felt a little bit like the 10 men in the Wizard of Oz, where he says, oil can, where she had to squeeze the oil to get him to move, right? So in the beginning, I was feeling like that. Not to say that it's completely gone, but man, oh man, is it so much better. And the thing is that as I'm doing this process, there are times during the day that suddenly I'll think, wait a minute, my hip hasn't been hurting me at all. And then, maybe it does a little bit later, but it's getting better and better and better. And so the thing is that not only is it a mind thing, but it's actually a body thing too, because as you start, this, if you've ever had any issues, that if your hip starts bothering you, then sometimes it's because there was something with your back or your shoulders or your knees, and you start compensating in different places for that problem, and then you can create some others, right? And so I'm really working on this full body thing. And as I'm doing that, and it's getting better and better and better. So that's why I said I had a hip issue, because I really don't feel like I have one now. I'm just still tweaking it a little bit with my mindset and these few exercises that I'm doing to help with it. And, I know I'm getting way off of the subject, but when something happens in your body, look and see how it might relate to what your mind is doing. And because my first thoughts was, wait a minute, my hip is the big balancer in my body to help everything move the way it should efficiently, right? So what does that mean? And then, like, one of the things, I sometimes have shoulder issues, and I find that when that happens, thank you for that, Sean. Cool beans. One of the things that I find that happens is, I'm a hairstylist as well, and so I have my shoulders, and I'm constantly up like this, right? Which can be taxing on your shoulders anyway. However, when I feel like things are coming down on me. Like I've got all these expectations, or I've got a lot of obligations that I feel like I'm supposed to be doing. I can feel that my shoulders and everything get even tighter. And so then I start doing different things to kind of loosen up my shoulders while I'm looking at how I can change my thought pattern, or how I can actually change some of the activities I'm doing so that it doesn't feel like it's such a weight on my shoulders. And so it's Louise Hay has an amazing book that I own, and I don't remember the name of it, but it actually, and and some people don't believe in all that stuff, so that's okay. That's okay. But I think God sends us messages, so it's to me, it's not woo woo. It's God sending me a message that says, "Hey, maybe you need to balance this out a little bit and stop overworking. Maybe you need to um, think a little bit differently about this obligation that you have going on." And so Louise Hay has this book that you can look in this book, and I'll have to see if I know where it's at, but I just don't want to get up and go get it. So I can, if anybody wants to know, I can share that later. Um, and it's a little tiny book, but it's not that tiny. I mean, it's like this big. It's just that thick, right? It's not a thick book. Um, However, it has different things, ailments that go on in your life, and then it has a corresponding thought that could be contributing to what that ailment is. And I don't use that all the time, but when I really have something that pops up, I'll go to it and say, wait a minute, what could be the thought? If I can't figure it out, then I'll go to that book and say, what could be the corresponding thought to that problem? And it's helpful for me. And I can only speak for me, right? So, all right. So let me go ahead and get to the journal prompt. So remember, the affirmation is, I believe in miracles and I'm ready to be dazzled. Ooh, dazzled by today's magic. And put that on your sticky note, your index card, your screensaver on your phone. Is it heal your body? Maybe I'll have to look and see. Is because I've got several of her books, and that's the one that has that kind of stuff in it. Um, I'll look and see, Erlyn, and I'll let you know. I'll put a thing in the comments when I get finished. I'll go look. But make sure if you can, put this as a screensaver on your phone. Use a chalk marker, put it on your mirror, put it on your refrigerator. I don't care. Put it somewhere that today you are focused on. I believe in miracles and am ready to be dazzled by today's magic. And I don't know why that dazzled just makes me, I like the word dazzled. I like being dazzled. All right. So our journal prompt is, oh, where did it go? Hold on. Hold on. Oh, there it is. What enchanting miracles am I thrilled to discover today? And how will I stay open to the magic? And see, remember we talking just earlier. It is, what are you open for? What are you looking for? So if you're focused on miracles and magic today, then that's exactly what you're going to find. And it's like I've shared before about the penny experience that I had, and I'm just going to share it again. And this deals more with money miracles, but it's still relevant to everything to me. And so I went to um, it was called Miracles. No, hell, it doesn't matter what it was called. However, it was T. Harv Eker. I think it was The Millionaire Mind, maybe. But it was a workshop, and it was like a 3-day thing. And while we were there, one of the things that they were talking about with our mindset and everything was so demonstrated with this experiment. So I want you to just imagine in your mind you're at this event, right? And there's chairs sitting everywhere, and we're facing the stage, and you've got like a space in between you and the chairs in front of you. So you got the little foot space, and it's a little bit bigger. And then there's aisles in between. So there may be like 5 chairs, and then there's an aisle, and then there's 5 more chairs. And so in this workshop, I was sitting like the third or fourth row back, and I'm sitting there. And so he told us to just close our eyes, and he took us through some deep breathing things and get us relaxed and everything. And so then he told us, he said that somebody was going to be, while we had our eyes closed, they were going to be coming throughout the audience, and they were going to be dropping pennies. And so once he told us to open our eyes, we were supposed to just grab all the pennies, all the prosperity that we wanted, right? And so when I opened my eyes, I looked down and there were pennies everywhere. So I grabbed some pennies, a bunch of them, right? But I didn't want to grab too many because I felt like there were other people in the row, they would need some pennies. And then you could see people doing things. There were people up walking around. And so then he gave us a certain amount of time. So just imagine you're there and you've grabbed your pennies. Now, in your mind, what would you do? There's all these pennies here. There's pennies out in the aisle. There's pennies everywhere, right? So I stayed where I was. I grabbed up all my pennies. And when he told us to stop, then he said he wanted to explain what everything meant. So he asked us, he said, so how many of you saw pennies immediately when you opened your eyes? And so we raised our hands. That was me. And he said, so when you saw those pennies, did you just grab a bunch of them around you, or did you move outside of your space? And so he asked, he said, how many people actually just grabbed the pennies around them? And I raised my hand, and there was a lot of us, right? How many of you grabbed the pennies around you, but then moved out of your space and grabbed more pennies? And there was some people that raised their hand for that. And then he said, so how many of you got all your pennies, and then you noticed that somebody else was looking, and you gave them your pennies and you started looking for some more? There were people that raised their hand for that. And then he said, so is there anybody here right now that has not found any pennies? And there were several of them. And they were standing up, walking around looking for pennies. So he said, this is a great demonstration of the way a lot of people live life when it comes to prosperity, when it comes to so many things. He said, so when you opened your eyes, and he said, I want you to look. And so we looked, and there were still pennies everywhere. And there were these people that were still walking around and couldn't find pennies. He said, so some people can have miracles and money all around them, and they can't find it. They look and they look and they look, and they can't find it. And he said, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm not saying that anybody's not smart, not good, not anything like that. But what I'm saying is that they're not able to see the prosperity and the good around them. And it was like, wow. I mean, I found the pennies right away, right? So I'm feeling like, oh. And then to find out, and he said, then there are some people that will grab the miracles, the prosperity that's right in front of them that they can see, and they are happy with that. But if they stepped outside of their comfort zone, there's still pennies all over there. They could have gotten a lot more prosperity and blessings in their life. And I'm thinking, damn, I didn't even realize it did that. And then there were some people there that gave their pennies to someone who needed it, right? He said, so that shows that there are some people in life that can just get prosperity, but they give it all away, and then they sit there with nothing. And he said, so this is a very eye-opening experience for you to see where you are in this space of what are you allowing into your life? What are you bringing into your life? I mean, it was amazing. And it was the simplest exercise. It was the simplest thing. But it was so powerful for me. And so now I make sure that I see the things around me, but I'm very willing now to step outside that comfort zone and see what else is there that I don't even see. And I'm sharing this with you because, like it says here, I'm enchanted with what enchanting miracles am I thrilled to discover today? Well, whatever they are, expand them. Step out of your comfort zone. And so that is the way to stay open to the magic. Have your thoughts open, like, I am ready. I am willing to receive whatever miracles are around me. And the ones that I can't even tell are there, guide me to them, right? Because it's everywhere if we pay attention. And so, have you ever experienced anything like I said with the penny thing that we did in that event? It was like it has been, God, I don't even know how many years since I did that, and I'm telling you, it has still impacted me in a way that it pops in my mind quite often. Who am I being right now when it comes to money? When it comes to being aware of miracles and bringing things into me, I can share. Like when the people that gave their money away, well, what if they had just given part of it and still went looking? But that's not what they did. They gave their money to the next person, and then for some reason they couldn't seem to find any more. And so, have any of you ever had anything like that that really showed you where you were in your mindset on money or miracles, and it surprised you? Because that surprised me, it really did. I mean, I thought I was so good because I got the pennies around me. I had a handful. And there were people that had pennies. They had so many that they were using their shirts. So when part of me had this thing, well, I don't have any place else to put it. They found a way, right? So let me see if I got anybody responding on this. Whoops, where am I at? Sorry about that. Oh, wait. All right. Well, there is a delay, so I'll catch that later. But the thing that's important to remember is once you assess and you discover how you are about even letting miracles and magic into your life, then that is a place that you can make a different decision, right? So today, make sure that you're looking. And so you can think ahead of time, what miracles are you going to be thrilled to discover today? And as you go through the day, it might be really nice to have like a little notebook so that you can start logging all the little miracles. And the miracles could be, thanks for sharing this story. I'm open to miracles and magic. Yay, Erland, beautiful. So glad. I would love to hear later if you want to share what shows up for you as you're expanding your thoughts today about the enchanting miracles. And what do you actually discover? Because it can be so eye-opening to see once you start focusing on it. And it's just like, remember when I've talked about buying my Prius, I never saw them on the road until I bought that car. And then it was like they were everywhere. And so it's not that they weren't there before, it's just it wasn't my focus. So those miracles are happening all the time. We're just not focused on it. So today, the focus begins, right? It's beautiful. And so I'm so excited to discover today what kind of miracles and magic are going to show up in my life. And to me, being here is a miracle and magic too, because, I love doing it. And so I love being able to share this with you guys, and having you here just gives me the more energy, the more depth of what I'm talking about, because it translates. I can feel your energy, and it helps to give me more as I'm sharing, and helps me to have other ideas to share with you as I'm talking. Because I don't come in with anything other than the affirmation and the journal prompt. The rest of it just shows up, right? God just downloads it, gives it to me, and says, go with it, right? Because the thing that I want to do every time is I get in front of you is to have something that I share help you in some way. If it changes your life, even better, right? All right. So, as a reminder, our affirmation is I believe in miracles and am ready to be dazzled by today's magic. And then our journal prompt, what enchanting miracles am I thrilled to discover today? And how will I stay open to them? How will I be open to the magic? How will I stay open to the magic? So I love powerful, powerful questions. And a how question is really, really powerful because then your subconscious mind starts working. She's wanting to know how. So let me see. How will we stay open? And things will start helping you to stay open because it's all the time trying to answer the questions that you ask. So that's why I say ask powerful questions. And so we never, never want to be asking questions about why does this always happen to me? Because then it'll figure out why and it'll keep happening, right? Ooh, yes, Wendy, have a dazzling, magical day. I love it. I love it. You're always so good with those last words there. I love it. All right. So make sure you've got your journal out or your notebook out. You put the date up there, and then you put the affirmation and the journal prompt. Now, I ask you to do that. You don't have to do that. But like I've talked before about, it gives us a place to see how much we've grown and how much we've changed. And so it's a beautiful thing. So put that in there and just take a moment to be silent and quiet your mind, and then just brain dump all the things that come up for you. And if there's only one or two, it's no big deal. You can add to it later or you can come back to it another time. The thing is that put something there, and then you can come back in a month, 3 months, 6 months and look and see what were the miracles that you discovered? What were you looking for? What happened? And then you will be really surprised to see how that thing created something else, because we're not on an island isolated from everybody else, and our energy is not isolated just to us. So as we expand our miracles and our magic in our lives, our vibration is going out and it's helping to change others too. And so this is part of your superpower, is that you can breathe in and you can change you. And although you cannot control others, you can actually change the environment around you. And just a real quick before we get off here, the thing that for those that are not aware, and you guys are pretty pretty powerful beings, so you may be aware, but there have been studies where Tibetan monks actually sat and meditated together and focused on a certain demographic that was having a lot of um, rioting and crime and everything. And then while they were doing this meditation, they were monitoring all this stuff. And the activity that they did, not even at the area, actually changed how everybody was, so that the crime level and all that stuff lowered. And so if these people, these monks getting together and meditating on peace and happiness in this place, then when you are doing things, your vibration is emitting a pretty big space too. So just think you're not only helping yourself, but you're actually helping your friends, your neighbors. You are even affecting the world. It's that butterfly effect, right? You change one thing on you, it has an effect, a ripple effect, throwing the pebble in the water and it ripples out. Just by doing these things for yourself, you're rippling out and affecting change for others. So utilize your power, utilize it with all you can, right? Miracles, magic, it's all there if you just pay attention. All right. So You have an exceptionally blessed, and what did Wendy say? A dazzling, magical day. Hi, Melanie. I see you just popped in, and we're just about to finish up so you can go back and watch the replay. But before I go, I'll just pop this up real quick and just share with you what our affirmation is for the day. I believe in miracles and am ready to be dazzled by today's magic. And then our journal prompt is, what enchanting miracles am I thrilled to discover today? And how will I stay open to their magic? Ah, oh, tomorrow I will be live in the group at 2 p.m. Eastern. And I'm pretty sure I have, let's see, yes, I have a surprise guest that's going to be popping in with us. So be able, if you can, be there 2 p.m. Eastern. And it is our celebration of the group. We've got a lot of new members. We've got our founding members. We've got so much happening that's beautiful in this group. And remember, we're going to have a surprise guest to share a little bit with you. And so make sure you're there. And real quick, make sure you go into the events section and go ahead and sign up for any events that are coming up that you want to make sure that you get the link to. And I think I added the masterclass in there, but I'll have to look because I think I have, but if not, I will be doing it. All right. So, like Wendy says, have a dazzling, magical day. Love you guys.